we're actually going to talk about how we met because we just realized that the camera ran out of power and it stopped recording halfway through our story. So we're going to start over.
Do it over again.
We're going to tell you the story of how we met.
And the crazy synchronicities that happened between the previous 6 months.
Yes. So before I met you, I'm actually going to add some information here. Before I met you, I was dating, well, I had met this guy who, no, I didn't met this guy. There was a guy that was my friend in high school, and we sort of hooked up, and we had a bad experience. And I decided after that I didn't really want to deal with relationships until I found the one. I was like, I'm closed for business until, I'm looking for the one now, and I don't want to have any more problems. And there was this guy who my friend, I had met through a friend, and we went bowling and everything. It was the week before Valentine's Day. My school, Carroll Community in Westminster, had this dance.
That was the week after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the week after Valentine's Day. But I had gone to dinner with this guy. Like, he was trying to date me. I was like, I'm not really into you. And so I decided to go to this week after Valentine's Day dance by myself. I missed clubbing. So I decided to go to this dance on my own. So tell what happened to you before the dance.
So about 6 months before I met Ellen, I was dating a girl who I was not really dating, but I was kind of talking to, making out with a girl that had a very similar body shape to what Ellen had when I met her. Mm-hmm. And it was right around that time I started seeing weird things. Like, I saw Ellen's face and hair on this woman. Mm-hmm. I'd never met Ellen before, but I saw her face and hair on this woman. There was something about a strawberry Snapple that you liked, that she liked, same thing.
Really?
I saw that, and I remembered that. For some reason, I thought that was going to be important, and sure enough, you liked the same thing.
Yeah.
And then there was also, I was living in a group home, which was for people who are mentally different, and I was on SSI, and I started feeling like I had the stereo cabinet back then. I started feeling like there was something I was supposed to put under it, like a booklet, but I couldn't figure out what it was. Mm-hmm. I kept trying different things. I remember one time I'd gotten this Transformers case, and I tried to put it under there. It was too big, wouldn't fit. And so I moved into my own apartment. Before that, sorry, I back up a little bit. So after this one girl, BJ, and I stopped seeing each other, I was upset, and I was just like, when am I going to meet the right girl? When am I going to meet the girl who is, like, the ultimate relationship for me? Like, when is that going to happen?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I don't care. I was already familiar with channeling and things like that at the time, so I said, I don't care what source this is coming from. I don't care what the deal is. I want to know what's going to happen. So I let this thing write through me and talk through me. And I picked up this little frame. I was at my friend Chris's house, and I picked up this little frame. And it was a little cardboard frame, one of those little tiny ones from the 90s. And I said, and it had no picture in it, and I said, she'll be the smaller one in the picture. And I wrote down the name Ellen Sue on a piece of paper, which didn't make any sense. And right after I wrote it down, a commercial for the Ellen show came on, and I was just like, oh, that's got to be what my mind is thinking of, mm-hmm. right? Ellen DeGeneres. Like, something, this isn't right, whatever. I saved it for a while. So I moved into a new apartment with a roommate, and I started I started trying to find ways to get out the front door, which was locked at the time. I felt like there was something out there that I needed. Something like a piece of, like a G.I. Joe weapon or accessory or something like that. And then I also kept looking for pot holders and stuff in drawers where there would be one eventually, but there wasn't one at the time. I kept seeing things that hadn't happened yet. So I got another roommate, in addition to the roommate that I had. I actually had gotten two more roommates, one of whom turned out to be a complete waste of space, and destroyed my bike and, just a whole bunch of really bad stuff.
Horrible people.
Horrible people. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the one roommate though wasn't a horrible person. Glenn, he was pretty cool, and I brought him in because he was homeless at the time, and he was close to my age, and I felt bad for him. He was a vet, and he got this girlfriend, and the girlfriend actually gave us like